Yay! Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us again today for our Aw Shucks stream weekends. We have been having an absolutely excellent morning and rest of the evening as well, and it's been absolutely amazing, but we are incredibly excited to introduce the wonderful Crystal Dex. Thank you so much for being with us here today, Crystal.
Thank you for having me. It is an honor, and I'm super excited to be here.
Aw, well, thank you. We're super excited to get to know you a little bit better. I know that we've passed at cons a couple times, and we did that rolling dice and taking names marathon, which was a lot of fun.
I took that, really seriously.
You did really well. Did you get, second or first place? I forget.
Second place, and I was so heartbroken because I had it in the bag and then just had a series of bad rolls, and
But that was awesome. They still were able to give you an awesome donation towards the Trevor Project as well, which is fantastic.
I was really, really grateful that they were able to do that.
It was really awesome that you chose that charity. I really like that with your choice as well. And Lindsay has a great introduction for you as well set up. So if you could go ahead and start up, Lindsay.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say is that we're just here with the incredible Crystal Dex to play some fun games. We're gonna be playing Keystone North America, which is just full of wonderful animals. Crystal has puppies, so it should match in very nicely.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna talk about the positive force that she puts out in our industry every day.
Well, that's very kind of you to say.
Thank you. I'm so excited. One of the best things about this weekend has just been able to meet so many amazing women that I haven't had a chance to connect with, and just see how just cool they are and how so many people that like games. I'm just so excited. I played games when I was really little, and I went to all the game stores, and there just wasn't that many other women, and it's just so this weekend has just been so exciting. It feels like a takeover.
It's kind of this weird mantle that I took up in trying to make women more present in board game media a number of years ago, and it's been wonderful to see how many new content creators have popped up, and not just content creators but people working for publishers and people developing board games and doing art for board games. It's just been awesome.
Yeah, I was telling Thea when we had him on, because he was one of those people that came in kind of in the last 4 years of this new wave of a whole bunch of awesome content creators that have come in that have more women, more LGBTQ plus people, more diversity, and we even had an even bigger push this past summer with all of that as well. And it's been amazing to see so many people come in and try to be more representative of the community as a whole, because there have always been women in games.
Yeah, we just didn't connect with each other yet.
Right, and there's always been all these different people that have been interested in these games, and now we're seeing more representation of that. So that's fantastic, and I'm really happy to see all of that taking place, and I hope that we can all come together as ambassadors for more of that in the future, too.
Yeah, I just want to play games with as many people as possible.
Yes!
So, I heard that you've been playing games all your life. This is the first time we've met, so I don't know for sure, but I'd heard that you've been playing games your entire life, and I just wanted to ask, what is the earliest board game that you remember playing? For me, for example, it was the Lion King board game from Toys R Us with a little bug flipper. And if there was one board game that was the catalyst that just launched you into the hobby and launched your interest and all that, if there was one game that you could pinpoint where it started, what would that game be?
Okay, so as far as earliest gaming memories, definitely some of the classics. I definitely played things like Monopoly, Scrabble, the original Balderdash, back when it was just word definitions and not all the other cool stuff that Balderdash has now. And the one that actually sticks out in my memory the most that people wouldn't know about, other than the Omega virus, which I got for my 8th birthday in 1992 and still have to this day, and it still works.
Never heard of that.
What
is the Omega virus?
Okay, the Omega virus is an electronic board game, like a lot of board games were in the 90s. Ooh. And it's a game where everybody is kind of like a little space marine guy on a space station that has been overrun by a computer virus. and you are going around the space station collecting the parts that you need to fight the virus, but the virus is actually hidden somewhere on the board and you don't know where it is. At the beginning of the game, all of the players individually type in a secret code into the box, the electronic box. The game knows everyone's secret code, and every time you visit a room, it spits out a random string of numbers at the end of your room visit, and if it's your secret code, you know that that's where the virus is hiding, but nobody else will know that. And so you have to go keep collecting all the stuff you need and then come back to that space and fight the virus. And it's only like it's a timed game because it's got an electronic component. It's only like 15 or 20 minutes, and it's super fun, and it's on the top of Restoration's list now that Dark Tower is getting done, because before it was Dark Tower, then Omega Virus. Now Omega Virus I know is at the top of their wish list. So
that's amazing. God, Isaac, how much money do we have to get a copy of that?
Oh my gosh. If you can find a copy, it's legit fun. There is one house rule that I recommend if you do pick it up. Feel free to reach out to me about that. And then game that launched me into the hobby proper, I started gaming with friends that I worked with at a casino in Kansas City in 2007. They invited me to their game night, and he had things like Race for the Galaxy, Puerto Rico, Power Grid, Ninja Burger, a whole bunch of
Ninja Burger. I remember Ninja.
You remember Ninja Burger? Yes.
I haven't thought of that game in like 20 years.
It's definitely like, one that people do not talk about anymore. But the one that he taught me that stuck is Runebound, which at the time was 2nd edition Runebound, and I now own 3rd edition Runebound. But it's
that's an enormous box, right?
Yeah, well, it's not actually that big. It's more like it's maybe, I think it's a Ticket to Ride size box. It might be a little bigger, but there's a lot of expansions for it, both new characters, new bad guys, whatever else. And then the cooperative expansion is the best one because that's a game I've always played cooperatively, even though it was not technically intended to be cooperative originally. But it's this big, epic, hours-long thing, and I never knew board games could be that until I played it, and then that's what really like solidified my love of the hobby. And then it's been all downhill since 2007.
Oh, that's awesome. I have so many more questions. There might be a lot of questions that perpetuate from these answers.
Yes, please.
So, one of the games in your profile that you said that started you was Betrayal of House on the Hill.
Yeah.
And Betrayal of House on the Hill is either a game that people will die on the sword for, or they can't stand it and say it's horribly broken. And I'm guessing you're on the love side of Betrayal of House on the Hill. But I wanted to get your thoughts on that game because it's such a not a controversial game as in like there's drama around it, but just people have so many strong emotions about that board game.
I think I might be the rare person that is split completely down the middle because I adore Betrayal and I will still play Betrayal, but I get angry at it every time I do it. I like, especially the Widow's Walk expansion, which I figured after all of those years, they will have worked out the kinks and like there would be no
the basement would function.
And Widow's Walk was 10 times worse than the base game and it maddened me to no end, but like, I still do really love Betrayal, and I played through all of Betrayal Legacy as well with a group of friends. A lot of people love Betrayal Legacy. I have slightly different thoughts about that experience from most people, I think. But overall, I still stand Betrayal.
You still stand by Betrayal?
Yeah.
How many times have you, in particular, gotten trapped in that basement with no way out, especially when you're the betrayer? And you're just like running around being like, oh my God.
And they fixed that in Legacy, thankfully.
Did they fix that in Legacy? Oh,
yes, there's no way to get trapped in the basement in the Legacy version of the game. But yeah, for the regular game, there have been multiple times. Although there have been times where I was a good guy stuck in the basement and I was like, haha, can't get me. So.
Nice.
See, the reason that Betrayal didn't stick with me early on is that I was just like so nervous to be chosen as the betrayer and afraid that I would not understand the rules in the other room by myself when I was learning everything and then come back and just ruin everything. So that was just like, that was what's so nerve-wracking, but I liked everything else about the game.
Yeah.
Such a good game.
Isaac, you can't ruin Betrayal of House of the Hill if you're the betrayer.
I know. I just get nervous.
It's so chaotic that like half the time it's not even your fault.
Yeah.
Although I have to say, when Betrayal goes off the way it's supposed to, it can be one of the most memorable game experiences of your life.
Absolutely.
That will happen 1 out of every 50 games you play, but it's perfect in every way. And then you're like, this is one of the greatest moments of my, like, just board games in general.
I wonder if anybody has ever, like, tried to rank all 50 scenarios, like, by, like, how good they are, theoretically. I mean, obviously good is subjective, but, like, there's clearly scenarios that are like, this is broken, and there's other scenarios where you're like, okay, this is fine.
Yeah.
So I wonder if anybody's tried to do that. I, for the record, am not taking on that task. But
That's a good thing to do, though. I would love to see more kind of in-depth board game dives like that, where people, like, take campaigns and kind of just rank, like, the different effects that they had, or the different ways that they interacted with them and how well they received them. That would be great. Plus, it'd also be great information for us designers.
I know, right?
Yeah. It would really help us out, people who want better games. All that stuff is really helpful. So moving off of that, this is my other favorite question to ask people, is what is the best board game or RPG experience you've ever had? Like, what was the most magical moment at the table that you've ever experienced? Your best story?
Oh, man. I don't know if I have an immediate answer to that. Like, my head immediately goes to a lot of different experiences that I've had at conventions, especially when I've gotten to, like, play with people for the first time, or, you know, people that I don't get to see very often. There was, it's funny, the Brothers Murph actually brought up this story recently at what was MeepleCon, what is now Dice Tower West. Me and Nick and Mike Murphy and Z Garcia, like, crazy late at night, sat down and Z taught us High Society. It was right after the new edition had come out with the artwork by Medusa Dollmaker, like the gorgeous artwork.
Yeah.
And that game is a very straightforward betting game, but, like, we somehow turned it into this silly, ridiculous thing where we were all talking in accents. And so, like, if you were to walk by our table that night, like, it's probably midnight and we're all going 20,000 francs, 20,000 francs, like, as we're bidding. like High Society in and of itself is not a silly game, but we just had, like, a ball. And I have a lot of little stories like that. For me, all of my best stories about board gaming are about the people. Like, and I love games.
Oh, yeah.
And I've had wonderful experiences with games themselves, like Legacy of Dragonholt that I played solo is probably one of my favorite, like, game experiences for me. But, like, it's always about the people. That's just where the stories come from for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah, that's it, especially at late night cons. Those are so,
it's
like,
really silly.
We're all very, very like inebriated off of just the energy and the lack of sleep.
Yep.
And that can produce some of the silliest moments in gaming, period.
And I'm one of those people that, like, I know people who, like, stay up until 2 or 3 a.m. and then they're up again at 8. I don't do that. I can't do that. Like, my body physically will not let me do that. And fun fact, if you ever catch me late night at a con, if I seem at all cranky, just tell me to go to bed, because I get very cranky when I am lacking sleep. So just be like, Crystal, you're done. It's just go take it out.
You're cut off, Crystal.
Yeah, no, for real. Like, and I at a certain point I notice it, and then I'm like, ooh, if I'm noticing it, it's been bad for a while.
Yeah,
that's great. I think. Well, I was gonna say, we've just asked everyone. I love asking that question because I got so many great stories, and never has one person talked about the game. It's always been about the people at the table.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think at the end of the day, that's really the great story.
100%.
Yeah, all I was gonna say is that, like, the one bonus of having a digital convention is waking up in your bed. Like, that's so nice.
Well, and, like, you get done, and then boof, you're done for the night. You don't have to like walk back to a hotel or like.
Exactly.
Yeah. Although, all that being said, I'm very much looking forward to being tired at a real convention again soon.
Wait
so
to go to a real convention. So I want to play games with friends in real life, not just this digital tabletop.
We're working on plans and details for Dice Tower West for 2022 right now. We actually just had a meeting about that recently with the team here in Vegas, and I'm so excited. We're like, based on the way things are going vaccine-wise and everything else, we feel like there's not a lot of risk for that event not being able to happen, and I'm so excited to have everybody come back to Vegas and like Well, that, I mean, PAX Unplugged, I'm
so
assuming, is probably going to go off pretty well as well, since that's December. But like anything before that, I'm still a little skeptical about. So
yeah, we're in the same boat. We've kind of made the decision as a company to not attend any physical conventions this year, just to kind of see what happens, what takes place, to be able to just kind of, just be able to understand how to navigate through that. And if there's any things that like need to be addressed that I hope these conventions will end up addressing. We'll see. But next year,
I don't want to be the guinea pig.
Exactly.
For that convention.
But next year, who knows? It'll be awesome. Hopefully.
Yeah, I hope we go to a lot next year. Yes. I know it'll be dependent on budget, but I hope there's a budget for many, many shows.
All right, well, I think it's a good time to go ahead and jump in. For those of you who just have joined us, we're going to be playing Keystone North America, which is our debut game here at Rose Gauntlet, and we're previewing it here on Tabletopia all weekend long with many guests, and we're going to be showing Crystal how to play today. Now, we're going to be giving Crystal a very quick run-through, and I'm kind of just going to be going over your turns, just in case there's anything that you get wrong. Scoring is kind of the most difficult thing to kind of get your head wrapped around, but once you understand that the game is incredibly easy. There's only 2 actions that you do during your turn, and it's very simple. So, in order to understand scoring a little bit better, I'm going to go ahead and grab these cards and just place them on this board over here so you can kind of get a good understanding of that. And let's see if we can find a good matching card real quick. If not, we'll just pull wilds.
Oh, I'm just picking up everything.
I'll just grab a wild card. It'll be fine.
All right.
It's probably good. So, Crystal, can you see this board right now?
Yep.
Perfect. So, in Keystone North America, what you're trying to do is you're going to be taking actions in order to take cards from the field, which are these cards you're going to be gaining and placing on your player board, or you're going to be able to utilize a skill. I'll explain skills in a bit, but this is going to be the core of the game, placing as many cards as you possibly can on your board in either ascending or descending order in any row or column in order to form a sequence of ecosystem. The reason that you want to do that is because at the end of the game, each card in a sequence is going to net you 1 point, and then there's going to be some modifiers to that as well. So you'll see here that this is going to be a 1, this is a 2, this wild will represent a 2. A wild card can be any number between 1 and 5. And the cards will all be available in 1 through 5 as well. You have a 1, 2, 3, 4. And the reason that they form a sequence is they all have at least one matching habitat amongst them. So they all have the desert, Great Plains habitat amongst them. And they all have to do that in order to gain the sequence. Now, if let's say this card was here and it was a 4 as well, because it doesn't have a matching habitat, all of them have a matching habitat that are equal, it would not be part of the sequence. Okay. The reason this is important is because we're trying to represent like the ecosystems in which these animals live, and this is kind of representative. Their numbers are kind of representative of their food chain as well. Now, at the end of the game, if you had a sequence with all of these matching numbers, and like I said, they can be in ascending or descending order, so like this could be up here. We're going to score these columns, and we're going to score these rows as well. So you're going to get 8 different scoring opportunities because there's 4 of each.
Mm-hmm. And the cards can be used in multiple. Like if it's a column and row that intersects, you get to score that card twice.
Right.
Okay.
So you'll notice that all of the habitats are going to be on the left side of the card. So there's only 4 habitats in the game. There are also seasons in the game, and those matter because you're going to be getting these secret objectives right here on the side. And these secret objectives are going to be like, try to go ahead and create a pattern like this with the seasons as well. So when you're able to do that, you're going to be gaining those amount of points. And if you can do that multiple times on your board, you're going to get those points for every set that you have. You just can't score the same card twice in that situation.
Oh, okay.
Just for the secret objectives situation.
Yeah, just for the secret objectives.
So going back to the sequence, very important part, there's lots of these keystone animals in the game that have this key symbol right up here in the corner. And I'll just go ahead and zoom in for the stream a little bit so they can see. Right up here in the top left corner, there's going to be some animals with a keystone symbol. The keystone symbol allows you to count the entire sequence again. So normally this sequence would be 1, 2, 3, 4 points in total. But because you have a keystone symbol, you're going to be able to count those 4 points again. And then you have another keystone symbol, so you're going to count those 4 points again. So in total, this entire sequence would be worth 12 points because you get to count it 3 times.
Nice.
In addition, you're going to have other opportunities to place research tokens on some cards. And research tokens, what they do is they add a number to your sequence as long as they're part of a sequence. Or they add a point to your sequence as long as they're in your sequence. So normally this would be worth 4, but because there's 2 research tokens amongst them, it's going to be worth 6 as a sequence. And then also get doubled by the keystone. So in total, this would be 18 points instead of the 12 that we were talking about earlier. So that's pretty much how the game works. That is really the most important part of scoring. Now, something else that you're going to want to keep in mind is that there are endangered symbols on some animals as well, endangered/threatened. Those are going to be dependent. Some secret objectives want those as well. And also some skill tokens, which I'll talk about in a minute, let you place research tokens on those as well. Because research tokens are limited based on what types of animals they can be placed on. And you could be able to place in order to gain more points off of them too. Now, there can't be any gaps. So, for example, if this was a situation here, you can't, this does not count as a sequence. Even though they're all in ascending order, they have to be in complete consecutive order with no gaps. Okay? So you would need the 4 in order to make that work.
In that circumstance, you would just score the 3 and not that final card.
Right. And if for some reason you have a row or a column that has 2 separate sequences in them that you can score, you have to only choose 1. So you can only choose 1 to score. And that's pretty much scoring. That's the most complicated part of the game. During your turn, when you're selecting a card from the field, you're going to be able to do that as an action. You're going to get these synergy tokens that are pretty much going to be your currency within the course of the game. And whenever you want a card that's to the left of the first card, you're going to have to place a synergy on that, very typical of some games you've probably played in the past, in order to take that card. Right? Okay. And then anybody who takes any of these cards will gain this amount of synergy and place it into their supply. If you ever discard a card that has synergy tokens on it, the synergy returns back to the supply, and the cards go to the discard pile. These skill tokens right up here, what they do is that they allow you to go ahead and do some extra actions. Most of them allow you to place research tokens. For example, this 8-1 right here allows you to place a research token on a winter card. So if it has a winter symbol, you can place a research token on it. And then it forces you to discard 2 cards from the field. So the strategy here is that it allows you to go ahead and also clean up cards from the field that you don't want or are kind of stagnant in the field, or maybe you want to block other players from getting those cards. And then what you're going to do is also gain an advantage on your board in order to make your board have more points. This one right here, what that does is allows you to rearrange 2 cards on your board. So if you want to move a card to a different position based on because you don't like it in that position, you can go ahead and move it around. Whenever you select,
is it flipping 2 tiles locations or just moving to anywhere you want?
You can move it to any empty space.
Okay,
so
cool.
So you can move 1 to an empty space and then move 1 to the space that you just moved back out of. Okay. You can totally do that as well. And then the other thing that you'll want to know here is that for this game, this one will allow you to look at the top 3 cards of the discard pile, select 1 and place it on your board, and then it'll force you to discard 2 cards. Whenever you select one of these actions, you have to flip it over to its exhausted side. If there are multiple exhausted, or if there's just one, it doesn't matter. If you decide you want to utilize the skills on the back of one of these skill tokens, you get to select all of the yellow instead of just selecting one active one. So when you do that, so you'll go ahead and say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and select the exhausted ones instead of selecting this active one. I'll go ahead and flip them all over. I get all of those effects, and then I move this game timer up 1. When the game timer reaches 8, which is the amount of players that we have due to these pips that are down here, it's going to end the game. There are two ways that the game can end, by reaching this number or by also a player filling their board. Okay? The last thing that you'll want to know here is that during your turn, as a free action, you can purchase, by spending 10 synergy tokens, one of the wild cards. There are 2 wild cards of each type. The wild represents any number between 1 through 5, and it has a habitat attached to it as well as a season. So you can go ahead and utilizing your board to fill in a gap. Like maybe you're looking for that perfect number or that perfect species to put in a sequence or connect to sequence. These are great to buy, but they're going to cost you synergy, which for every 3 synergy that you have at the end of the game, that gets you 1 victory point. So you are sacrificing that in order to do that.
Okay.
The last thing that you will need to know is how do you gain more synergy, right? You start with only 5 synergy in the beginning of the game, but whenever you place a new card on your field, or on your board, you're going to be able to gain synergy based on the matching amount of habitat symbols that are adjacent to the cards that you played. So, for example, if I was to place this American bison right here on the pronghorn, next to the pronghorn antelope, the wolverine, and the coyote, I would gain 2 synergy tokens because it was placed next to the coyote, an additional 1 synergy token because it was placed next to the antelope, and an additional 1 because it was placed next to the wolverine. And that is because they share some symbols that are matching. It doesn't matter what their numbers are, and this only applies to the habitat symbols on the left-hand side. It does not matter if they have other matching symbols on the right-hand side. Do you have a pretty clear understanding of how it works?
Yeah, it seems pretty straightforward.
Sweet. All right, and I will go ahead and answer any questions that you have along the way. I'll also look at your board. The doggy cam.
Yeah, I brought the doggos. Cute. I brought the doggos in. I figure if they're gonna bark, I should at least, give them some screen time.
There you go. And we're gonna go ahead and just get started. I'll take a look at your board as you're putting it together, and give you some suggestions and tips, just so you learn a little bit more about the game as you're playing. And if you have any questions for us, feel free to ask.
Okay.
Lindsay, which seat are you taking, Crystal?
I will take whichever seat you'd like.
How about you take one that's down here at the bottom, so that way you can be facing the river, and it'll be easy for you.
I have to do the thing where it says I'm in a seat. Leave seat.
In Tabletopia, I don't think it matters as much. It doesn't orient.
That's weird.
You.
Yeah, it keeps giving me this one over here.
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't reorient you. Just move your camera into whatever direction.
Just pick one and start playing on it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it being specific.
All right, I'm taking this one where my cursor is hovering. Then.
Perfect. So I'll go ahead and take the first player token, so you can see to. Oh, it's locked. Unlock.
Oh yeah, I locked it. I thought that was helpful. Apparently it's not.
And I'll go ahead and take the first turn, so you can see 2 turns before yours. And if you have any questions for us, feel free to ask.
Perfect. And then you actually get 6, Crystal. Or no?
Ooh, okay.
Wait, hold on. You're first player?
I'm first player, so I get.
Okay.
I get.
So you
5,
get 7.
You get 6, and she gets 7.
Yeah, because you get 1 extra for each space you are away from the first player.
Nice.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5.
Oh, and you can both look at your secret objective cards that are placed next to your board, and feel free to choose one for the remainder of the game. And the one that you discard, you can go ahead and choose the place over here. The chat will know what mine is.
and so will everyone's, apparently.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
No worries. It'll be fine. We're learning.
Oh, my goodness. Well, that is, I guess. Take this one.
I guess I'll put
get rid of this one
over here, so that way that can be our discard pile. Cool.
All right, let's build some habitats.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take my first turn, and I am going to go straight into the Prairie Fringed Orchard.
Nice. All right, and then I'm going to what? That snail kite's endangered. I can live with that snail kite. I'm okay with this. And I think right here is a great place for it to live.
All right. I mean, that seal's too cute, is the thing. So
No, it's my
pretty
favorite.
sure-
Yeah, you should have
Like-
been watching with Danny last night. He was just like, I need to collect all the chunks.
He did. It was not a winning strategy. It was not a winning strategy.
He's
But it was a
still
cute
just to collect.
strategy.
He still
mean-
did better than me, though.
I mean, come on, look at this seal. Look at this seal.
It
It's
is
so
a
cute.
very cute seal.
It's so cute.
Zoom up on that one for the chat. And
Yeah.
in the chat, if anybody has any questions about the game or any questions for Crystal or us, feel free to ask away. I'm going to go ahead and take this Californian Condor. I think it's going to work out for me. We'll see. And at this point, I don't have any animals for him to try to eat.
I'm gonna have to go. This is gonna be a little bit of an expensive animal. This is probably one of the more expensive beavers I've purchased in my life. But
How many
I'm gonna
beavers
go with
have
the
you
North-
purchased in your life?
at least one now. And then I get a synergy token for that because it has a matching ecosystem or a matching habitat with my
Correct.
snail kite.
I need to
That's
look
my
at my
turn.
thing again. Okay,
Oh.
let's see. I want the polar bear, but it's so expensive. You know what? I think we're gonna be smarter, and I'm gonna take this mountain goat because
Cool.
I think that's not a bad call. So we're gonna put that one right here.
All right, and then
Nice.
that's going to gain you 1 synergy as well
Mhm.
for the placement.
Oh yeah,
Cool. I'm going to go ahead and take that white-tailed deer. He's so cute.
Nice.
Like him, and I'm going to gain 1 synergy for that placement.
just leaving this flipped up so I don't forget it. I don't care.
No, I ended up doing that one game too. I was like, I can't memorize this. I'm too tired. All right, I'm gonna go with this bald eagle. I can't believe it's still here. Thank you, everyone.
Ilya and Taylor from Kavre are in the chat, and they're like, hello, just got here in time for my questions. My only question is, why is this game so amazing?
Because we didn't let Isaac sleep for an entire month.
That's true. They've been so
Right, well-
incredibly supportive of the game.
Yeah.
That
So
box
sweet.
is way too appealing. I'm taking it. I'm taking the synergy
Oh,
on
no.
it, and I'm getting one more synergy for the match. Right? It's just
Yep.
one, right?
Correct.
Okay. Cool.
Ooh, this black-footed ferret is just too perfect. So I'm going to gain that there, and it's going to gain me 1 synergy and 2 synergy because I placed next to 2 matching cards. Lindsay?
This is tough.
Ilya and Taylor say, oh, I said Taylor. Tyler. Ilya and Tyler say sleep deprivation is always a good motivator.
It is. It works every time we need to fix something.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna go with a skill. I'm gonna take the 2 research tokens on an endangered species, and I'm gonna put it on my snail kite.
Nice.
And I discard 2 cards from the field after doing so. I think the polar bear. Sorry, polar bear.
How
And
pretty,
then
Lindsay.
I
They're so
know
cute.
you're gonna really be upset when this gopher tortoise goes away. Because it's too risky letting you get hold of an endangered and keystone animal. Isaac, I see your desert plains going on over here.
All right.
That's my
well, I am going to take that American red squirrel, put
All
that
right.
here. So that gets me 1 token.
Awesome. Don't forget to pay for it too.
Right, you have to place 1 on each card before it.
Oh, yeah.
That's how excited she was to get that
I
animal.
was literally just like, a squirrel!
That is a biologist that is paying on a 30-day pay date. It's got terms on our animal purchases.
I'm going to go ahead and take that mule deer. Place it
Nice.
right here. And that's going to get me 1 synergy as well. We're going to zoom in over here. Lindsay's board.
All right, I'm going to go with.
Art is just
I know.
spectacular.
It
Like,
is
Yeah,
my
we had our lead artist
favorite
on
thing.
earlier today. Her name was Iram, and she's just so good and so sweet. And she's just incredibly, incredibly talented. And more people should follow her.
Yes, she will love it too. Oh my god, she'd be so happy. I'm gonna put this. This has matching. Yep, I'm matching, and I get 1, 2 synergy tokens for that. So it paid for itself.
Yeah, we very much wanted to represent the animals in a realistic way, because we wanted people to be able to know what they look like in real life, but we also wanted the game to look very gorgeous and very interesting because, like, most of there's no text or stuff. There's just, these icons. So might as well go all out on these beautiful art, and then you get to create this awesome mosaic of animals on your board.
for sure.
So you put that Wolverine there. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and take a skill. I'm going to place a research token on a winter one. And I'm going to place that on my white-tailed deer. And then I'm going to go ahead and discard 2 cards. I'm going to say goodbye to one of the American alligators. And I will say goodbye to the salt marsh snake.
This is
I said sugar.
literally the opposite of
The
sugar.
opposite.
It's salt marsh.
I want a sugar marsh snake next time.
All right. Well, that was exactly the card that I wanted. So I will now take
I
this
knew it.
skill to dig into the discard. I'm gonna go ahead and pull that out. That gets me 1 synergy. No, it gets me 2 synergy for that combo, and then I will discard 2 cards from the field as well. All right, I'm feeling okay about the dog sheep. I can live there. You know what? No, it freaks me out. I'm gonna get rid of the dog sheep. It's too much money on that dog sheep.
Lindsay's sharing all of her internal thoughts with us.
Yep.
Love it.
And then I don't know, this grizzly bear is really intimidating. Because Isaac is dangerous when he gets grizzly bears.
I wanted that grizzly bear.
I know.
Too.
I've played enough with you to know your combos. All right, and that's my turn.
So I'm gonna take a wild. So I'm gonna have to pay 10 of these little guys, which I'll just move out of the way for now. 5,
I'll help you.
6, 7, 8. Okay, good. I do have enough. I thought I did. So I'll have 1 remaining. And the question is, so I've already basically screwed over my private objective. So I feel like I'm just gonna work on getting those sequences.
Oh yeah. I give up my objective all the time.
So I think we're gonna take this one and put it right here.
There you go.
Ooh,
So
nice.
so that gives me 2 synergy.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I didn't really gracefully put them back. I just kind of threw
I will
them
fix
over
them
there.
now that it's my turn is done.
And that is not your turn is done because that's a free
Oh.
action to get a wild card. So you
Oh,
get to go
Yeah,
I
you
didn't
get to do
realize that was
something
free.
else.
Yeah, if you want to do one of the skills too, we can explain what those
Oh,
mean.
we're gonna flip over those 3 yellows. I'm gonna take those.
Nice.
Oh,
So
nice.
the research token, what is that one? The one in
That's
the middle
the
there?
wild card.
So it lets you
You get
place
to
a
put-
research token on a wild card, which is great. It works really well for you right now.
Yeah, that was
that's-
actually perfect timing.
Okay. I totally planned that entirely. And then here, I'm gonna take. There's 3, 4. I'll flip
You can
this
flip
one
them over with F too
Yeah.
if you hit F.
Okay.
And we'll flip all of these over. Boop, boop, boop. And then this game timer will move up 1.
Great.
Cool. And now it's my turn. Let's go ahead and I'm going to try to get ahead of the game and get this sugar maple right here. And that's going to gain me no synergy, but at least it was free.
All right, I'm going to take the 2 research tokens on an endangered species. Put those up there. And then I will discard 2 cards from the field. I will discard crocodile and this cactus. And that is my turn.
Okay, and I am going to go 1, 2, and take that bighorn sheep.
No!
Nice.
Yeah. It's going right here.
So bad.
That means I get 3 synergy, I believe.
Yep.
Is that right? Okay.
Perfect.
Cool.
That's a good combo.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and. I think I'm gonna go ahead and gain a research token on my Blackfoot Ferret, and then discard the Swallowtail Kites and the Prairie Fringed Orchard. Your turn, Lindsay.
All right.
And then, Lindsay, after your turn, if you have another question for Crystal, go ahead and shoot.
I will. As soon as my strategy comes to fruition here, any moment. I will take. I mean, obviously, I'm going to take the action of putting a research token on my bald eagle. I will discard 2 from the field. I'll discard this. I'm sorry, Lemming. You're so cute. All right. And question.
Then I'm taking the caribou. So.
Dang it.
Oh, crap. Oh, you did need that caribou. I thought I looked over and it didn't seem
It's
like
got a
you needed
key and it matches, and so
caribou.
it feels like this is it's a good caribou.
Yeah.
All right.
All caribou are good caribou.
That's true.
I'm going to go for this bison.
All right, what you got for me, Lindsay?
All right. So when you're reviewing or talking about a game, what are some of the things that you really look for in like a positive game or a game that you'd really suggest for others?
The things that, so it's interesting because like if people look at like my top 100 list, which admittedly I haven't updated formally in a few years now, but like the games at the very top, my favorite games are big, long, complex games that are usually like big epic adventures of some kind. But the games that I gravitate toward the most and the ones that I recommend the most highly generally are ones that have pretty easy to learn rules, but really interesting strategic decisions. And like, not to toot your all's horn, but like this type of game is exactly that. Like, it's not that difficult to teach,
Awesome.
but it's not like, but there's a lot of interesting decisions to be made within the game. Like a lot of tile laying games really fit in that space. Like even something like King Domino, it's ridiculously simple at its core, but I can play that game over and over and over again and never get tired of it. So and I'm always looking for accessibility in games, not just in like, are the rules easy to learn, but like, you know, is this approachable? Can it be taught well? Does it incorporate things that are colorblind friendly, even though like I don't have vision issues? Like I'm trying to look at things from multiple points of view. Cost is also an issue. Obviously, like the cost of a game is different for every single person, but board games are a luxury hobby. And so I try and be aware of that kind of stuff as well, if I'm going to be recommending it to others. Because like if a podcast is talking only about $80, $100 Kickstarters all the time, like there's only a very specific type of audience for those games. And Ambi and I have always tried to make the content on Board Game Blitz family friendly, not just in we don't curse on the show, but like we want our content to be approachable to all levels of gamers. Like we want somebody who's new to the hobby to be able to listen and not feel like they're getting lost, but we also want established hobby gamers to get something out of our show as well, which is why we try and have meaningful discussions about things that go deeper into the hobby itself. And like I tend to not like brag about myself too often. I struggle with self-promotion sometimes, but like we've been putting out amazing content, and the depth of the conversations that we have in a 30-minute podcast episode, I'm shocked at what we've been able to do, honestly. And I'm really proud of it. So
that's so cool. That's such a good answer. I love that answer.
We were the very first board game podcast to be hosted entirely by women. There were none when we started, and our 5-year anniversary is next month. So
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you. I'm really excited. We've got something. We're planning some fun stuff for our anniversary. I need to get a synergy token, and then I'm done.
It's hard to talk and do all this at the same time.
I have ADHD, so like focusing is like impossible. I have to be like, okay, we have to settle on something here. But no, we have some fun stuff planned. We've been doing a lot more streaming on Twitch. Like, we technically started streaming on our Twitch channel 4 years ago, which a lot of people don't know because we weren't doing it super regularly before. But like a lot of people during the pandemic, you know, we were like, well, we have to do something to keep ourselves occupied. I was in the midst of getting separated from my husband, so I was really alone. Like, this is not a sad thing for me now. I'm happy to talk about it, but like, I needed that connection with other people like more than ever because I was so isolated. And streaming on Twitch, it's shocking to me as an extrovert and a people person how much social energy I get from talking to a webcam because the people in the chat are interacting with me.
Amazing.
Yeah. Like it's been, I honestly don't know what I would have done this past year.
Yeah, it's like we've said this multiple times throughout this weekend, but it has been astonishing to us, number one, how many new friends we've made throughout this, because like both of us were kind of like, this is going to be impossible.
It felt that way, yeah.
Be able to do that. And like Lindsay and I are not, this is not a natural state for us to be like host or stuff like that. Like, we're just like, oh, we'll just be designers and, you know, we'll go to cons and do the interviews like we're supposed to and stuff like that. But we really wanted to have some sort of energy and be able to make our community feel like, hey, you're welcome here. We want to hear your questions. We want to be able to talk to you. We want you to get to know us as well. And the more that we've done it, the more it's been feeling like it's fulfilling some of these aspects of like the social community that we want to build up, and it's also like allowing us to meet new people. Having guests on has been the right choice. It definitely helps us too. It makes us relax as well, and it's been so cool to be able to meet new people. And
okay, I don't remember what this one does, and I think I want to do it.
It's gonna let you look through the discard pile, the top 3, so you can go ahead and see these top 3 cards. And
oh, I don't want ones. Okay, so maybe not that one. I don't know if I want to move anything either. I could, I suppose, but none of these are like super appealing at the moment. This is going to be, I've got everything kind of ascending. I guess this one's going to end up being descending. Maybe that last row is just going to be, you know what, I'll take the squirrel.
There's always like a sacrificial row.
Right.
Oh yeah, no, never worked out and you just shove them in.
I'm going to have a couple of those for sure. And I am definitely one of those people that does not stress about my first play of any game because it's a futile endeavor. You're not, if it's a solid game geared toward adults of some kind, like not just a children's game, you're not gonna grok it on the first play entirely.
Right.
Like, you're just not. And so I just try and make some decisions and see what comes of it.
Yeah, if the entire game is determined by the first thing you do, that is a crazy experience. Like, the whole rest of the game doesn't mean anything then.
That's the thing. The designer of Food Chain Magnet has said like that is intentional in that game, that you can screw up your entire game on the first move, because I think I'm going to misquote this, but I believe the quote from him that has gotten passed around was, if the first move doesn't matter, then why does it exist? Or something along those lines. And I was like, that's ridiculous. Like, I mean, you know, Godspeed to people who want to play a game like that. Totally fine. I'm not going to, you know, judge you, but like for me personally, heck no.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds like just a lot of pressure. I mean, there's no way, like, if I knew I lost on the first move, I would be so sad.
That just
like, I would just be so sad.
Well, because to me, the gaming, even for people who enjoy winning, I can't fathom that they don't also enjoy those moments in games when you're not winning and you can figure out a way to like manipulate things or twist things or change things to make it possible for you to win. Like, that's the strategy is if you're winning the whole time or losing the whole time, there's less interest there.
Yeah.
Is it me again? Probably.
Wait, is it my turn, Isaac?
Turn.
Okay,
Yeah,
sorry. I was like, everyone's waiting, and I'm like, I bet you it's my turn right now.
See, and I am always
but
assuming
I can't
it's me
remember.
I talk a lot, so
I'm gonna spend literally every penny I have to buy a coyote and put it right there.
It's worth it.
It is worth it. Although, is it though, Isaac? I don't know
it.
now that I've done it.
Don't think about it.
So I get 1, 2, 3, 4 synergy for that. So that's not so bad. All right. It is your turn.
Okay. I kind of want... Oh, no, that doesn't match, though. None of them match well. All right, I'm going to actually flip over the yellows again.
All right.
So I'm going to move this up 1 space.
Yep.
Flip, 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 and I'll take 4 synergy and put another research token on my wild.
So unfortunately,
oh no, only one.
You can only place research tokens on cards that don't have a research token already,
okay.
Unless you have. There's a skill that lets you break that rule, but we don't have that
okay.
right now.
Well, I could buy another wild, right?
Yep,
you could buy another wild before you do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll say I'm doing that then.
Yeah, that's
so.
fine.
3, 4. Oh gosh, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'll have 1 left. I'll figure that out in a second. And I will grab. Which one is going to be best for me is the question. That row is already kind of screwed. 2 of them are kind of already screwed. We're going to grab another winter thing. Or at least I assume that's winter. It sure looks like it. Okay. Everything's all snowy over here and I kind of like it. So then that'll get me 2 synergy and then I will put the research token there. And I will, so I get total of 6 synergy because of the 4 from the yellow cards.
Correct.
Nice. Very nice. Good move.
5, 6.
Alrighty. I'm going to...
I like having the wilds as an option. It's like, oh, I can fix this, this thing that I screwed up.
Yeah.
It's meant to be as a panic backup plan.
Yep.
You going for Isaac? You spent a lot of money over there.
4 mountain land.
Nice.
And that's going to get me 1, 2 synergy.
Not a lot of swamp creatures happening
We'll start turning
right now, but that little spider, I think it's calling my name. Oh wait, never mind. He's not a swamp creature. He's not calling my name. Well, the cypress is calling my name, and he's gonna live over here.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just too much synergy. I can't pass it up.
I know, I'm looking at this rattlesnake and I'm like, I don't have anywhere to put you, but...
I know. That's all you need, your junk row.
I mean, this row is already kind of junk. And it's not going to get much better from that there. So sure, rattlesnake, you can come live here and it'll be fine.
You're going to live in this weird Arctic scroll land.
Yep. Everything's great. No synergy, but I don't care.
You're just going to hibernate.
Synergy. Yeah, he came with his own synergy. He didn't need to create any.
Let's see, what do I want? I think I could go after this long-tailed weasel. Seems like needs a new home. The art for that one's so cute. You can't see it, Crystal, but me and Lindsay can see it.
That's pretty good.
And this is gonna gain me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 synergy off of placement.
Oh, a short 1 synergy. No,
For a while.
Listen, everything's fine. Everything's fine. I will put 2 research tokens on my bear. I will discard 2 cards off the field. I will discard Golden Eagle. And I think this Marmot.
Goodbye, Marmot.
Just scared of it. I actually don't know what a Vancouver Island Marmot looks like, so I'm excited for that piece of art to come in, because I have no idea what animal I'm looking at every time I see that card.
Yeah, he's like last on the list alphabetically, so he'll be the last one to come in.
All right. I want, dang, number-wise it doesn't work, but like I want that coyote because it's got all the symbols.
I know.
And it's got a key. It's got all the cool stuff, but it's gonna, okay, well, where are we screwing up stuff anyway? Let's see.
That's my tactic as well. Well, let's see what else has gone wrong.
It actually wouldn't be horrible down here.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
So, okay, we're gonna do that. So if I got all this synergy, we might as well spend it, and we'll get ourselves a coyote.
You can get a lot of synergy back for that.
So yeah, get 2.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
Yep.
Ooh.
All right. Let's see. I think I'm going to go. For the raccoon. Oh, that's a 3. I'll turn this in. Oh, I took from you, Lindsay. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Isaac. It looks like we have some new viewers. So hi, welcome. If you're just joining the stream, we are with Crystal Dax, the amazing, awesome personality. And we are playing Keystone North America, which is the game that Isaac and I have been working on. It'll be the first title by Rose Gauntlet coming out now. And if you have any questions for any of us, feel free to ask while we just kind of geek out over all these animals.
What is the release date for Keystone?
It is, the Kickstarter will be next month, although we have not officially said what day exactly.
Okay.
We're still waiting for one more thing to come in.
That is smart, and I totally get it. Like,
one final piece of the puzzle before we can do that.
Yeah, we gotta be strategic with that.
But it'll definitely be next month, and
yes.
there is in the chat there is a sign up link where you can go and be alerted when it goes live.
Yeah.
Okay, I am gonna. It's me, right? I assume.
Wait, Isaac, did you just go?
Oh.
Yeah, I got that northern raccoon. I thought you went right after. No. Or is the last thing you did was that grizzly bear?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's your turn.
All right. All right. I guess I could get that moss spider would look really sweet right now. It doesn't belong.
I'm sorry I'm moving your tokens. I don't know why.
I don't care. No. I get it. I totally get it.
I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah. I don't care.
I'm gonna take this thing.
So what have been some of the like more unique challenges of ramping up a board game company in the midst of a global pandemic?
So definitely the biggest thing that has been crazy for both me and Lindsay is that we've been best friends for a really long time. For the last 7 years since we've met, we've gotten to know each other, and we really enjoy working with each other now that we've started the company.
Isaac, you're really soft. Just heads up.
Sorry.
I can barely hear you.
Can you guys hear me
your
better
audio.
now?
No, your audio feels like it cut out.
Well, it's weird because we can hear you, but just barely.
Yeah, it's
like,
true.
Yeah, like.
Because technically, it can't be possible that your audio is cut out.
Let me see if my.
It felt like the audio equivalent of that thing they used to do to vaudeville performers with like the hook on the stage, like pulling them off. Like you were very slowly getting pulled away, and I was like, "What's happening?"
Is this working now?
No.
That's weird. I
am
don't
going to
know
pick
what's happening.
the forest. I'm gonna put a forest. I'm gonna put that sweet forest.
What about now?
No.
Oofed.
Right there.
That's not good. Let me see if I can.
Ah.
Sorry. There you go.
Good.
Okay.
How about now?
Yeah,
There you go. Perfect.
For some reason, Zoom switched my mic over to my camera microphone.
Oh,
nice.
So I was like, what is going on? So perfect. All right. So sweet. What was I? What was I answering? What were some of the unique issues? Lindsay and I have not met in person since we started this company.
That's been really tough.
We've been doing all of this remotely, and it's worked, and it's fantastic, and like we have definitely done more than we ever thought possible. doing it remotely, but like both, like we were saying, Lindsay and I, we just enjoy being able to be physically in the same room with a person, and we get a lot of energy from that. So being distant, we thought it would be much harder. And also, like, I think just for both of us, like, it's been different getting used to controlling our own schedules.
Okay.
So, like, getting used to, like, oh, like, it's been actually a blessing. It's been amazing. We can take a nap in the middle of the day if we want.
And we do sometimes.
And we can, and it's been cool getting into that mode and doing that. But, like, I think the hardest part in all is just, like, especially for both me and Lindsay, we had a team that we were a part of and controlled, and we're able to, you know, get a lot of resources that way. So hiring a lot of people and bringing a lot of people on and just making the right strategic decisions in order to spend the budget that we had in order to make that team, and take those things that we were getting help from beforehand, deciding, okay, what's the right way to utilize this money in order to best effectively craft the thing that we want to put together. And honestly, we started with a really good foundation since we've both been in those situations before. And we just kind of started figuring out, like I was talking earlier in one of our streams, someone asked, how big do you want to get the company? And I was like, okay, well, when we first started putting this together, we had 54 positions that people will eventually need to take over, but all of those positions sit on me and Lindsay right now.
Oh my gosh.
To do that, like, eventually. So it's a lot of hats to wear, and we can't wait till the day, like, just wait till the day, like, someone's going to be running our OBS stream for us, and we just
that's what Isaac wants first thing.
Having a producer is obsessed.
Right. So it's just been learning a lot of new things, especially with, like, tech and just being able to connect. Like, we were connecting through Discord for everything, and then that kept crashing, so we switched over to Zoom. I originally had Steam Labs, we switched to OBS, different programs, different things we've been going through. So it's just kind of like just transitioning everything that we normally would have done in person to, like, more of a digital space, and that's kind of just been the most difficult part, I think. What about you, Lindsay?
That's a great question. Has anything that you've done changed with the pandemic, or is it very similar to what you were already doing style-wise?
It's pretty similar. So my day job, I work in marketing for a credit card company, actually, and it's at the beginning of the pandemic, my company was really hesitant to let people work from home because they had previously had a no working from home policy, like, no matter what, and they didn't want to, like, get rid of that policy, but they obviously at a certain point kind of had to, because we had our current building can house 800 people, and that's on a 4-story building, so, like, it's a lot of people.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. And so they did let us start working from home, but it was a struggle. Like, there were multiple times during the year where they were trying to do, like, staggered schedules, but we have an open layout at my office. There's no cubicle walls. So even having every other person in their cubicle, it was still incredibly dangerous. And I had some really frustrating moments arguing with people, and, like, our HR department felt bad because they weren't the ones making the decisions, the people higher up were. But I got a bunch of notes signed by my doctor over and over and over again saying that I was high risk for COVID, so I could keep working from home. As far as the, like, podcast stuff is concerned, since Ambi and I have never been located in the same city, nothing's really changed for us. It's funny because other podcasts, I feel, have had to transition, like, whereas we're doing exactly what we've always been doing. In fact, we've played more games together this past year than ever before, which, like, we used to see each other at conventions and things like that, but then Ambi had the twins, and so she stopped going to conventions for a little while. But we've, like, been playing games online together, and so we've had multiple episodes where instead of her reviewing a game and me reviewing a game and then us discussing a topic together, we've been able to review games together. And a lot of publishers, we've been incredibly lucky that a number of publishers have been super generous and have been willing to send 2 copies of a game, one to her and one to me, so we can both play them and review them. And obviously we know that, like, technically, like, the wholesale cost of a game is not as bad as the retail cost, but it's still, like, that's a big ask for some companies. And so we're really grateful when people are able to do that. But even sometimes they'll send one of us a copy and we'll play through Zoom or whatever. Like, we did that with Rosetta the Lost Language from Story Machine Games, which I am that game's biggest champion right now, and I want everybody to play it because it is so good. I love it.
Really? Wait, what's it called?
Yes. Rosetta the Lost Language. It is. Have you ever seen the movie Arrival, perchance?
I have.
I feel like I have.
The one with.
Oh, it's.
God, what's her name?
It's funny. Her name is escaping me right now too. I'm looking it up. She's very
Abrams.
popular.
Amy Abrams. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Amy Abrams and Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
I think I have seen it. Yeah, it was probably just late night, and I wasn't.
They're trying to there's an alien race that's come to Earth, and she's a language expert and is trying to figure out what the aliens are trying to communicate to us. Rosetta is basically that in board game form, because there's all these symbols on cards, and you get to make up a language over the course of the game and get the other people to try and get. It sounds like it wouldn't work, and it's so much fun. I'm sure it's only for a specific subset of people. Like, I am the person that game is for. I love language and etymology, and so it's like fascinating.
I wrote it down in our Discord, Lindsay, so we don't forget.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'd love to check that out. Have you?
Because I want to check it out too.
Played a game called Dialect. It's an RPG where you build a language by playing an RPG with people.
I've heard of it, but I've never gotten a chance to play it.
It's super fun. I love that game. So it sounds like I'd really like Rosetta.
I think you would. Okay, dang. How many tokens do I have? Do I have enough for another wild? 3, 4, 5, 6. I do, just barely. Well, that's gonna screw me over on my next turn, but that's okay. What can I do that would match over here? Those are blue.
Looks like we got rated by Twin City Games. Thanks, Twin City Games.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it was Amy Adams. Someone corrected
Oh, yeah. We're all like Amy A something. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna turn in all of those tokens.
Just so you all know, to the viewers that just arrived, if you guys are interested in demoing Keystone, we have open tables right now at Aw Shucks. Let me go ahead and attach it into the stream. And you guys can go try out the game. We have a demoer waiting, and he's completely happy to show you how to play. He just opened up. So let me.
And then
Oh wait, did I already? I already attached it. I see.
Nice.
It's at the top. The link right up there. You guys can go ahead and grab it. But I'll go ahead and just.
Oh, you've almost completed your board? I think we're going to end this game before we run out of time. Dear Lord.
I haven't been doing as many of the things. And so that was my free action getting the wild. So I need to actually do a thing. I'm going to do this one that'll allow me to move some tiles. So what we're going to do, I want to get you down there. So I need to move this wild somewhere else.
I just added into the chat if you guys want to go ahead and demo.
Oh, and I didn't take
straight there and try out demoing Keystone.
So I'm paying the 10 for the wild, but I technically would have, so then I would have gotten 2 synergy after the fact. So I'm going to end up keeping these 2 and the rest will go away.
Yeah.
But I'm going to now move the wild. It's going to go here.
So just so you know, the wild
but it won't,
only has one, the
green.
It has to match with the symbol.
So it won't actually help with the sequence if I do that. Or it will work down.
Yeah, this one's a much better sequence.
Yeah, so I should leave that there. 3.
You already took the other 2 winter ones.
Yeah, I know.
I know.
Okay, so maybe here, we're not going to move tiles then. I will do the flip the 3 yellows again then instead. So I'll take 4 synergy and put a thing on a wild.
Nice.
So I will have a total of 6 synergy left. I will put back everything else.
Alright, we'll move this.
Alright.
Oh,
that's it for me.
Sitting on my mountain lion. Let's see. That's decent for me. That's what I want. I'm gonna go and go there. 1, 2, blacktail jackrabbit.
Don't worry about it. Just
I know, but I'm like,
put it over here.
I'm like, come on.
Yeah, I'll do the blacktail jackrabbit there, and that's gonna gain me 3 synergy.
Nice. Bumblebee. Crap. Really wanted a bumblebee. Waiting for that bumblebee the entire game. I don't think it's coming. I think I'm gonna dish out all my money for the muskox, one of my favorite animals in the game, and I'm gonna put it right here and gain a synergy. All right, that's my turn.
Okay. Well, none of you match my stuff, so let's see. I'll put a research token on a snowy one, because I have a bunch of those. Let's see. Let's put it on you.
Nice.
And then I can get rid of 2. Well, you have too many tokens on you, so you can go away. And then, you know what? I'm sure somebody would probably really like that alligator because it has a key on it.
No,
but I'm gonna
no.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Oh, that was a nice little swamp over there.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I love that Lana and Sterling have just been like fully passed out behind me this entire time. They're just like.
Is one of your dogs named Sterling?
Yeah,
that's the name of my dog too.
Really?
Yeah, Sterling Archer, based on the TV show.
Yes. No, that's Sterling and Lana. I have Sterling and Lana. Like,
oh, it's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sterling Mallory Archer is the full name. I registered it and everything.
That is amazing. Yeah, no, we got them when they were puppies in 2011 when Archer was still really good.
Yeah,
I have not watched that show in years, but yeah, so that's back there on the bed right now is Sterling and Lana. They are inseparable. They love each other. And maybe we adopted after the fact, and there were no other female names from Archer that I really liked. Like, I didn't want to do like Mallory or Cheryl or Pam. Yeah. So like we moved to Arrested Development, so that's where we got Maybe from for the third dog.
Nice. Yeah, Lana's really the best one in there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when Lana's klutzy, I'm like Truckosaurus. I like picking pop culture-y names, but I like names that sound relatively normal but have a pop culture reference. Because like I've met a whole bunch of dogs here in Vegas that are like named like Yoda or Chewie, and I'm like, that's cute, but like I like that my dog's names could seem to be like just normal names too.
Right. I'm gonna do research on a spring, and my other dog's name is Sawdust, so I didn't keep it going.
Oh my gosh, that's a really cute name.
I love it.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, no more pronghorn. And what do you need, Isaac? What you got
Don't
going on over
look
here?
Don't look at my board.
No, I'm just.
I don't have anything going on.
I think this jackrabbit. Need to keep my streak going, Isaac.
How could you?
That rabbit is so cute.
It is.
Oh my god. Do I have a place for you? I want it because of how cute. Oh, I don't have an. Well, I do. But just like. Oh man.
It's your turn. When we, I think when we turned that one in particular, our playtesters asked if we were using photographs or if we were smart. And we're like, it's art, guys.
She did so well.
Promise, it's not a photograph.
It's so good. That's the thing. Like, it's just so good.
Yeah. She can do fur so well.
Yeah,
Her fur is the best fur.
I feel like orange, green. Dang. Nothing matches the way I want it to. So what we're gonna do. Am I allowed to like look at the 3 discards before I decide if I want to? Okay, because I want to.
Yeah, it's open information.
That. At least you have a blue thing on you. That would match up with some stuff, probably. But then, number-wise...
Oh, sorry.
I mean, we're probably... No, you're fine. No, you're good.
It's
I'm
mine
just,
now. That's my rocket.
How do you pronounce that word? I don't even know.
Ptarmigan.
It's been such a point of contention.
Or, if you're Monique, rock parmesan. That's what she called it.
I just call it rockbird.
Rockbird. Well, Rockbird's real cute. I don't know how well he fits, but we're just gonna do that because whatevs. So
Nice.
He won't line up with anything, but he'll look real cute doing it, and he'll
He's
get
still
me...
better than this combo or no, you got 1, 2, 3 points. No, this is way
Yeah.
better. That's 6
Yeah.
points.
Yeah. So he'll just hang out in the corner and get
Like
me
it.
2 synergy, and it's fine. Like
You
I
also
said,
advance the game farther. Like it's getting closer to ending, so you can scare Isaac and I more.
perfect. I mean, if there's one thing that was my goal for today, clearly, just...
Yeah. If you end the game, none of the rest of us get another turn because Isaac's the first player. So if you end it, it just ends immediately.
Gosh.
So I'm gonna go ahead and buy a wild card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait. Oh. Yeah, I'll buy a wild card. I was just gonna make sure that there was one left that I even want. I'll buy that wild card. Boom. This one.
No wild card for you, Isaac. Sorry, I didn't mean to grab that out of your hand.
Grab 2. That's fine. It's been a very, very grab other people's stuff.
Yeah.
Mostly on my ends. And then I'm going to take the yellow action here. Or the yellow exhausted skills. I'm going to go ahead and gain 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This. And I'm going to place 1 research token on a wild. Oh, and I put it in my hand instead.
You put a token in your hand? I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, you can put anything in your hand in this game.
Alright, let's see. It would be really sweet if prairie dogs lived in swamps. There was some sort of swamp version of the
Swamp
prairie
dog.
dog.
Swamp dog.
Swamp dog. I would be in a much better position right now. Unfortunately, there is no swamp dogs in this world.
I'm just surprised, people don't do, there aren't more animals with just standard names like that. Just well, I found this dog in the forest. It's a forest dog now.
Yeah.
That's what we're calling it as human beings.
Yup.
I think here and here. That's what we're gonna do. Oh, 2 bearberries.
Bearberry.
So many bearberries.
Okay. I need to get that one scoring better. So I'm going to do place on an endangered animal research. So you can go up here on the seal.
And you get 2 on an endangered.
Oh, 2.
Yeah.
Oh,
2.
nice. Cool.
Right, and then you just
Oh, and
discard
then-
2 cards.
Yes. Oh, Bunny, you're
Isaac,
adorable. I'm getting
What's
rid
up,
of
Bot,
you.
can you kick it without I don't know, kicking
we
yourself out of the game by accident like last time?
Want to be famous? We got another bot. Fun. Let's see.
They must think we're famous. I guess not if they're asking us if we want to be famous. They must think we weren't trying very hard to be famous. So here, let me ask another question if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Crystal, while we wait, what is one an IP that you that's never been turned into a board game or an RPG that you would just absolutely love to see translated into a tabletop game?
I have 2 for this.
Perfect.
Number 1 is the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
God, we need to hang out. We need to hang out so bad. Crystal, oh my God.
So the way
I do a Dice Tower Con, Isaac.
Yes.
There you
Okay,
go.
so the way I picture this game, for the record, I am not a game designer, technically I've designed 1 game, but that does not, this is not me hating on myself. I'm just saying I do not design games for any real, part of my life. But anyone who designs game is a game designer. Everybody's valid in that regard.
Yes.
But I'm just saying it's not a thing I typically do. But I have a list of game design ideas that I'll never design. And one of them is an asymmetrical game based on the Rocky Horror Picture Show where everybody has a different goal. So Brad and Janet are literally just trying to get out of the mansion.
They're just trying to leave.
Yeah. And Riff Raff and Magenta are trying to murder everybody. And Rocky is trying to sleep with, or not Rocky, Frankenfurter's trying to sleep with everybody. It's kind of vast, but dirty. So That's what I want. Also, I want a game based on the Hannibal TV show because it's my favorite TV show of all time, and it would be incredibly creepy because there's cannibalism involved. But like,
that would be scary.
The dynamic between Hannibal and Will Graham specifically, as it is featured in that TV show, but even in just the Thomas Harris novels to begin with, like that dynamic between those two characters is fascinating, and I think would make for a really interesting like 2-player game potentially.
That could be super tense. Are you talking about the new TV show or the one that's been out for a while?
Well, no, not the new one. No, not the Clarice one.
Not the Clarice one?
I refused to watch that because Brian Fuller was trying to get the rights to Clarice for literal years, and they would not let him have the rights to Clarice, which is why she never showed up in Hannibal. And this new show I refuse to watch it. I just can't. I wanted a season 4 of Hannibal so desperately, and I'm very grateful that NBC gave us 3 full seasons of that brilliant show. How that ever aired on network television, I will never know. And if you watch it now, you'll see what I mean, because there's stuff in that show that you're like, wait, this aired on NBC? Yes, at 10 p.m., but still. Okay, let's see here. We need to... Man.
I made the mistake of listening to Silence of the Lambs on audio when I was training for like a 13-mile race, like half marathon. And it was like I was like 6 miles away from my house on a dirt road. I was kind of lost. I wasn't sure where I was. And the Silence of the Lambs is just playing, and it's so terrifying. And I'm like, this has got to be the worst thing to listen to as like a woman on the side of a road, just running. Oh, it was so. I ran my fastest speed ever that run, and I'm pretty sure it's because the Silence of the Lambs book just terrified me the entire time.
Okay, I just flipped over this one and put a research token on my fox.
Nice.
Oh, and then I get to discard 2. Let's see. Well, you have a token on you, so whatever, and that's not doesn't go to me. And then sure.
Cool.
Nice.
I'm going to...
It's funny because like a few of the ideas I had in my like game design like list have like theme-wise have happened in the years since I started it. Like I wanted to see a game about Tibetan mandalas, which I knew I couldn't design because I don't have the cultural touch points in my own life. But like when I was in college, some Tibetan monks came to my college and constructed a sand mandala in like the art building of our campus. And like they were there working on it for like a week, I want to say. And it was one of the most spectacular things I've seen in my entire life. And then, now multiple games have come out about mandalas, which I think is neat. What else do I have on there? I've had other ones. I can't remember, but like, I was like, oh, hey, that was something that I had on my list. So it's neat to see. Honestly, I'm just excited to see games with different themes. Like,
yeah,
I'm more interested in a game like this. Like, even though this is nature adjacent, it's still different. Like the whole building habitats and things like that. Like when I look at our boards, it makes sense, you know, like it looks cool.
Okay. Yeah, I really like it. And what's really cool here, we're not showcasing this today, but this is going to come with a solo or co-op version where you get something called the Field Journal, and it's a full like narrative story that you play through all the puzzles on your own board. Or if you're doing co-op, you play it together. And it's really cool because we wanted this game to be as educational as we could. And this is really educational the way that it is. But adding the Field Journal, we were able to like talk about really relevant things happening with conservation efforts around North America. And, you know, like what is actually affecting these animals specifically, in a lot more detail through the story. So I'm really excited to show people that someday. Hopefully it'll be ready tomorrow. We're told it'll be ready to showcase tomorrow. So, but yeah, I agree. It's just really exciting. I think the last 2 years in particular, we've seen a lot of diversity in themes from the industry, which is just really, really cool. And I think it's just because there's just a bunch of new people in the industry. It's like a whole wave of new designers and new content creators, and it's really showing in what's coming out.
Yep. I mean, people always said that there was, there were some people who said that there was no appetite for, these quote unquote weird or different themes. And I think that those people have been proven wrong at this point. Like, I mean,
right.
Wingspan is kind of the biggest example of that, because it was that whole, like, who would want to play a board game about birds? And as it turns out, just about everybody does. Like, it's, yeah.
Right,
So,
yeah. I love Wingspan. I just played it for the first time like a week or two ago, and it was amazing.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's
I was
really fun.
really excited.
It feels satisfying when you combo those things into one another, but it's still approachable. Like, for the people who say it's a gateway game, I would argue it's a little bit heavier than
It's
a game per se.
Heavy.
Like, yeah, like it depends on what kind of gateway gamer you're talking about there, but like, it's so fun.
It's awesome. All right, my turn is over.
And this is your
okay,
last
so then it's
turn.
last turn. Yep.
And I'm gonna bring up the
let's
score
see.
sheet real quick.
I think
Score sheet.
polar bear is actually kind of perfect for me.
Is it?
It'll at least
That's awesome.
it'll help with a couple different things. So you get to live here.
That is a really
that
good
is really good. Nice
So-
end game.
So there's 2 synergy that I get back. 1, 2.
Oh, I forgot to gain my 1 synergy for my wild card.
I didn't do my personal objective in any way, shape, or form. I ignored it.
I ignored
Yeah,
mine
me too. There's no way. If I did it, it was by accident. And I
But
did
that's-
not.
I like games though that do another recent example that does something similar is Calico, where like if you try and focus on all of your goals, you're gonna accomplish none of them.
Right.
So like you just kind of have to
Yeah.
make some decisions and run with it.
Right.
It's very much like, if it seems like it's going to happen for you, be really excited, but like just abandon it if you
Yes.
think it's not going to work out, because you can
Yes.
definitely win without it.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump straight into scoring. I have this score sheet that I placed up on the screen for people to see, and I'm just gonna call out each column and for you. So just so you're aware, Crystal, the column, the one that's going up and down from your American red squirrel down to your snowy owl, is going to be column 1, and then we're gonna go from there 2, 3, 4. So starting with me, I'm just gonna take the players through my scoring. So they can kind of see an example. You guys don't have to be as detailed. Just kind of come up with your number in your head. And then, Crystal, if you need any clarification, we can go through that as well. I'll double check your score when we
Yes,
announce
please.
it. But I'll start,
Please feel free to double check me.
yeah, just in the beginning. I won't later. But I'll go ahead and do mine real quick. So I'm going to gain 1, 2, 3, 4 points because they all have a matching desert symbol. And they also have... there's no, I'm going to gain 1 more because I have a research token on my wild card, so 5 points total. I have no keystone in that one, so that's all I'm going to get there. And then over to you, Lindsay.
All right, so I've got 1, 2, with my research, 3, 4, 5, and the grizzly bear is a keystone animal, so that's going to be 10 points for me.
Cool. I'm just
Okay,
going to
and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row. I've got 1 keystone and 3 research tokens. So that's 7 times 2?
Yep, 7, and you can add it again for the keystone symbol.
Okay. So 14?
Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
Don't worry, they're not all that good.
What'd you get, Lindsay? Again, I'm sorry. I forgot to write it down. I was just...
I got 10 on mine.
10. Perfect. Cool. And I'll go ahead and score my next one as soon as I adjust this. There we go. And okay, I got 2, 3, 4, and 5. They all have a desert symbol, and I'm going to have 2 research tokens, so that's 6 in that sequence, and I've got 2 keystones as well, so I score 6 again and 6 again, so it's going to be 18 for me.
Nice.
What about you,
All right,
Lindsay?
I scored a sad little 2 points on that one.
Hey, you know what? 2 points is 2 points.
By Cypress with a possum in it.
What about
I got
you, Crystal?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Nice. And And I went ahead and got this here only with a 2 and a 3. Unfortunately didn't get that, but that's okay. And then I'm going to get 3 points because there's a research token on it. What about your column 3, Lindsay?
All right, I got 2 options here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1, 2, 3. Ooh, that's much better. So 1, 2, 3, 6, 9. I get 9 points on that one.
Nice. And what about you, Crystal? Well, how's your
let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 with a key, so 8.
Yep. Alrighty, and then I've got on my 4th one, 1, 2. Nope. That doesn't count. This is gonna count here for. Nope. I get 1, 2, and then a keystone, so 4 total. Lindsay?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 keystones. So that is 14.
Nice.
Can I score a single card as a row? Because
No,
okay, then I got nothing.
So 0.
Yep, this row is just all of the rejects hanging out together. They're good.
So we're going to go ahead and move into rows now, starting with your American Red Squirrel, and then over to your Rock Bird.
Ptarmigan.
Rock Parmesan.
Exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points. No keystones, unfortunately, but still not bad. Lindsay?
I got 24 points for mine.
That's nice.
That might be my best one.
What about you, Crystal?
And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with a key, so 12.
Nice. All right, and then for a second row, I got 2, 3 here, and I have a 1, 2 here. I'm gonna go ahead and score. I have a 1, 2, 3 here, so I'm gonna go ahead and score this one, and it's gonna be let's see, it's gonna be doubled up by the keystone, so it's gonna be 6 points in total. Your score, Lindsay?
10 points for row 2 for me.
Nice.
And I believe I have 5.
All right. 5. And for row 3 for me, I've got, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4 with 2 keystones, so it's going to be 12 points for me. And what about you, Lindsay?
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 points.
And what about you, Crystal?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with a key, so 10.
Nice. Okay, and then your last rows, I just have, let's see, I have this here with my Grey Wolf, 1, 2, 3 with a keystone, so that's going to be 6 for me. What about you, Lindsay?
No points on that last row.
0 here.
And then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 times 2 is 8.
8 points.
Nicely done.
All right, anybody get their secret objectives?
No.
0. All right, it comes down, synergy tokens. How many? For every 3, you get 1 point.
I will get 2 additional points then.
2.
I
will
also get
1,
2.
And
2 for me as well.
2. Lindsay, you've taken it again. Lindsay's at 77. Crystal, you got second place with 65, and I
Nice.
got 63.
I think that's the highest score from someone who learned the game on one of our streams so far.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great job.
Yeah, I sometimes do decent at my first play and then never again. Like, once I know a strategy, I screw it all up. But if I'm just throwing things randomly, sometimes it just works. So.
There you go. So I'm going to go ahead and grab your link tree. So we can throw
awesome.
it in the chat.
That's the easiest way for peeps to find me in all of the places.
Yeah, if you all want to go ahead and follow Crystal, you guys can go ahead and follow her through this link tree right here. Put it in the chat. And Crystal, thank you so much for being with us today. We really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. It has been an absolute pleasure and a delight, and I cannot wait to hang out with you all in person and to see all of the awesome games that you all are working on. Because if this game has any bearing on what you all are going to be producing in the future, I'm seeing lots of awesome stuff coming. So.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much.
No, this is spectacular. So
we really appreciate it. And for those of you who are still following us and want to continue being with us throughout all of Aw Shucks, please feel free to continue following. You can demo the game through the links that I've provided as well. And Lindsay and I are going to be joining the, I believe, Matt and Quinn's. I'm not entirely sure which Shut Up and Sit Down members will be there, but we're going to be jumping on Shut Up and Sit Down's channel to play just one. So if you guys want to follow us there, we're going to be trying to host or stream through our channel as well. So you can watch here or you can go ahead and hop over there. So thank you all for joining us, and we're going to go ahead and raid their channel right now, as long as they're live,
Nice.
which they are. Start raid. Perfect. All right, we're going to be there in a moment. See you guys. Bye.
Yeah, thanks.